Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, May the 6th or so. Like I said, I'm a day or two ahead of you guys in recording. It just worked out that way. I used to be quite a few days ahead, and every week I lose a day because I only record 6 days a week. Anyways, today happens to be a very rainy day. I'm not waiting to the end of the day to give you an update. I'm going to do it right now, and nothing's going to be done outside. So with that in mind, two things. There is a ticket out to Jackery and a ticket out to US Solar, and we have issues with both things. One, I reported yesterday that the 10th panel is shattered. I used their chat to communicate with them. They gave me an email address of some guy named Andrew, as well as the support team. And with the email addresses, I emailed them directly. I got a reply back that it's in queue. Wait up to 48 hours before a response. And that's where we are with them. With Jackery, after informing them that no, it's not a bad unit, it's the fact that your firmware, especially 1.92, there is an issue with HPV, that's the high power voltage. When it goes to kick in, the Jackery unit resets, or it gives an F6 error, and then you have to manually reset it. And that's going to be an issue, because if I'm going to be greeted every morning and at night as well, it's going to be a serious issue. Now, why I'm staring at this is because both units went from 100% down to now 13%. Thanks to this rainy day, it's not recharging up, and this one's at 9%. And we're only taking advantage at this point because of the setting here, that little orange switch that tells us that we're just using the 500Xs. Now I'm going to demonstrate what happens when I switch that to use both at the same time, and see if I can show you the F6 error that I'm getting. Because what it is that when there's not enough juice coming in with the the high power voltage, or high volume, that is, then that's what triggers it. So if it was a nice sunny day this morning, this is not going to be a problem. To deal with this, to control when this gets triggered, by the way, at night, I flip it so that it's off. So this is going to be a daily annoyance, that I have to flip it off, and in the morning flip it on, expecting to have to do a reset. So here we go. Let's see if I can trigger it. I'm going to turn it to use it, and upon doing that, there it is. I'm not sure if you see this, but there is an F6 error. So the next thing I have to do is hold down these two buttons to reset this, and so I have. And now keep in mind, on a rainy day, it's not going to bring in much juice, and upon resetting, it is still F6, because the 500X panels are only bringing in 32 watts at this moment. I have to wait till those things are in the hundreds, and then I can expect better performance. And so to resolve this for now, I'm going to go back over here and switch this back to just the 500X panels, reset this again, and upon resetting, we do not have the F6 error anymore. Now I'm going to hit the AC power so that I can feed the office and the aquarium. And with that in mind, I'm going to have to be pulling this pretty soon, because once these total 20%. So right now we're at 22% between the two units. I don't like pulling the juice much further, and I'll have to actually pull these plugs off because it's a rainy day. As my friend Mr. Tow Truck has pointed out, this type of weather is the nemesis to relying on solar, and so it is. And it's supposed to rain for the next couple days. Then we get a little bit of a break in, then rain for another couple days. But we'll see. Weather around here is quite fickle. Now, at the same time, there is this 12H that just appeared. That means this thing's going to shut off juice at the 12-hour mark. I don't typically like that. I like this running 24 hours. And I'm not sure if I can balance this properly because I got to now hold two separate buttons, and upon holding that, there you go, it's off. That means it'll run 24 hours without interruption. Now, a couple of things I want to point out, and that is, if I have this STS, which is supposed to be attached to, well, basically a wall, but basically those two bottom plugs there, two Jackery 5000 units are supposed to plug into those. Each of those are then supposed to have 5 backup batteries each. This is going to be expensive, but nonetheless, this will power, if there is no juice coming in, the entire house for a week. But assuming that there's going to be a day of sun or so, then it should continue to recharge. Why did I buy this and then turn around also have this cable here, which is a 30 amp cable? And that's because this house came with, not sure if we can see it from here, but it's way in the corner there. Probably not from the angle, but nonetheless, there's a plug outside that I can plug into and run the house off of that as of now. The reason I purchased this plug cable, which wasn't cheap, is because of moments right now. I have not hired an electrician to wire that up. Why wire it up, by the way, if I only have one of these units and only one backup? It's not like I can run the whole house for a long period of time. Speaking of which, yesterday I did excitedly, because these things juiced up on a very sunny day to 100% each, and ran the whole house around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I ran the whole house, including running the dishwasher, for basically up to 10 o'clock last night. So 7 hours off grid. The consequence to that is that, again, this entire bathroom is on a circuit that if you turn the generator on using that method there, it basically loses power there, along with the rest of the basement, the finished area, I should say, just the finished area. My office beyond there and the workroom inside there, all of that stays on, but it's just this room plus some other unfortunate things, such as can't do any laundry because that utility room gets turned off. Evidently, they're on the same circuit, and so might have an electrician rewired to give us light down here, but that's minor. I understand the laundry, why when we switch to this cable that it knocks the laundry room out. It's because of the high demand. But we also found out, unfortunately, last night, that the upstairs, where all of our bedrooms are, we have a separate AC/heat unit. It's, I forget the term, but anyways, the heat pump, there we go. We run on a heat pump, And we have 2 units, one for the rest of the house and one for the very upstairs where the bedrooms are. That also is on the circuit. Not the downstairs one, but the bedrooms do not get AC or heat for that matter. So therefore, I cannot do the whole house on this type of cable. And the reason why it's all bunched up, by the way, is it's supposed to go up out that hole, and I have to drill another hole on the other side. But nonetheless, the point is that I cannot run it just on that cable. So the STS eventually is going to be what we're going to need in the state of an emergency, especially in the middle of summer when it's well over 100 degrees, at least at the real feel. But they're very common around here. Weeks of high 90s, but it really feels like 114. As well as winter, when it gets down to minus 23 overnight, and that happens a number of times. They say it's polar air and so forth. And no thanks, I can't have us freezing or camp out all in one room on the main level for the sake of heat. So that's the one thing there. And what is my position? Because I've kind of contradicted myself, at least if you listen to all the videos, where am I trying to get off-grid or not off-grid? Off-grid is ideal. I would like to be free from having the electric bill minus the connection fee. Because remember, you're not going to, if you get a monthly billing statement, you will always have to pay the fact that you are connected to the utility company, and you can't escape that. But if my goal is to make us totally off-grid, I can sink so much money into this type of operation that yes, it is possible, but what benefit did I just get out of it? I know off-grid's a nice benefit, but you're definitely not going to make it up in any form of savings for years upon years. And who knows if the equipment will actually wear out and need replaced before then. And so off-grid is a nicety. A smaller home would help us to be off-grid, but we kind of like our home. We like the wildlife around here and stuff like that. And so we're staying here. But now as far as buying these units, the goal was not just to get off grid, even though it's like a nicety. The primary thing is when the grid does go down for whatever reason, or our little neighborhood because a tree fell on, because when you live out where it's wooded, there happens to be branches and stuff like that. When that occurs and we're out for hours, we kind of do like having lights on and things like that in our devices. And so that's what these units happen to be. And again, as a reminder, a gas powered generator would serve such a purpose, but if it was at a longer extended period of time, those things need refilled and are not supposed to run basically 24/7, not at all. And so that's not an option. Whole house lasts a whole week if we relied upon that, but then we have to have a truck come out weekly to fill us up. And that's not happening, especially since I had to argue with them on the last one. They set us up on a every week, 8-week plan, which meant that I had to pay 2 fees, one for a back refill if necessary fee, and then some other ecological fee that was tacked on there, and it's like $25 per visit. And it's like, add that to a weekly visit? No thanks. We're going to go bankrupt if it ever a disaster. The disaster was supposed to wipe us out. Don't worry about saving. If we try to avoid the disaster, the financial fees are going to wipe us out. All right, I talked long enough for not accomplishing anything today, other than the fact that I just wanted to give you an update on status of things. especially with the fact that we have an issue with Jackery, and it's a very serious one, because I don't want to invest any more money into buying more units if I'm going to have this constant F6 error. On top of that, everything I'm seeing about those solar panels, I'm waiting to see how reliable and how good the support team is. I haven't been able to make a decision yet regarding that, because there hasn't been any real interaction with them. But I'm hoping for the best, because for them to say yes, you can have a panel, but you have to have a purchase of additional ones for stability while shipping. Well, how do you warrant these things then if that's the case? There should be absolutely no cost to me to replace that panel. So however you get that here, without any money leaving my pocket, that's up to you. Some websites, since they're out of stock, US Solar is out of stock of that specific panel. I did find elsewhere, one company says you have to order 10 minimum. And it's like, no, I don't know if I'm going to even order an additional 10, though I'd like to. And so we're going to just wait and see, and I'll keep you posted. The future videos should be shorter than this one for the updates. Thank you for paying attention, and hope you learned something from this experience. That's the intent here. It's not for my attention. It's just to put it out there and let people see a raw, unedited, non-influencer perspective. There you go. Have a good day.